Have you ever noticed something strange about truly wealthy people? Not the ones who got lucky, not the ones who inherited it. I mean the ones who built it from nothing. They don't talk about hustle the way everyone else does. They don't obsess over budgets and side hustles and saving every coin. They talk about something else entirely. Something that sounds almost too simple, almost spiritual. And most people scroll past it because it doesn't sound like advice, it sounds like a secret. Today, I'm going to tell you what that secret actually is. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not talking about manifestation posters. I'm not talking about thinking positive while your bills pile up. I'm talking about a principle that goes back over 100 years, studied by philosophers, practiced by builders of empires, and quietly embedded in what Ernest Holmes called the science of mind. The principle is this: wealth is not primarily a financial condition. Wealth is a consciousness. And until your consciousness changes, your bank account cannot permanently change, no matter how hard you work. Every person walking this earth has what I call a wealth blueprint. It's not written on paper, it's written in your subconscious. And it was written, mostly without your permission, by what you saw growing up, by what was said around the dinner table, by whether money in your home was a source of peace or panic. If you grew up hearing, "Money doesn't grow on trees," "Rich people are greedy," "We can't afford that," those weren't just phrases, they were programming. And right now, that programming is setting a ceiling on your income, an invisible ceiling that no amount of overtime can break through. Here's where the science of mind gets practical. Holmes taught that the subjective mind, your subconscious, does not think, it only accepts. It accepts what you feed it repeatedly through thought, through feeling, through the stories you tell yourself. So when you say, even jokingly, "I'm terrible with money, I'll never get ahead," that kind of wealth isn't for people like me. Your subconscious is not laughing at the joke, it's writing it down as instruction. This is the consciousness gap, the distance between where you are financially and where you keep almost getting to, but never quite reaching. That gap is not a money problem, it is a belief problem. So what does wealthy consciousness actually look like? It's not arrogance, it's not greed, it's a quiet, settled sense that abundance is your natural state, that money is not scarce, it is in circulation, that you are not chasing wealth, you are becoming the kind of person wealth flows through. Holmes called it treatment, the deliberate, intentional renewal of how you see yourself in relation to abundance. Not pretending you have what you don't, but genuinely shifting, at the level of belief, what you expect life to bring you. I'll be honest with you, when I first heard this, I pushed back hard. I thought, this sounds like an excuse not to work. This sounds like something people say when they don't want to face reality. But then I looked at my own life, and I saw the pattern. Every time I got close to a financial breakthrough, something would happen. An unexpected expense, a deal that fell through, a bad decision I couldn't explain. It wasn't bad luck. It was my blueprint doing its job, pulling me back to the income level my subconscious believed was safe, was normal, was mine. The moment I started doing the inner work, reading Holmes, sitting with my beliefs, challenging the old stories, things began to move. Not because I stopped working hard, but because for the first time, my hard work had a consciousness behind it that matched where I was trying to go. So here's what I want you to do after this video. First, audit your money talk. For one full day, notice every single thing you say or think about money. Write it down. You'll be shocked. Second, identify the earliest memory you have around lack. Who said it? What happened? How old you were? That memory is likely the root of your blueprint. Third, begin a daily practice of what Holmes called spiritual mind treatment, which is simply this: speak to your subconscious the truth you want it to accept. Not affirmations you don't believe, but honest, grounded statements of what is possible. Abundance is the nature of life. I am open to receiving more than I have before. Money flows to me as I grow in consciousness. Say them slowly, mean them, repeat them, and watch over time how your outer world begins to reorganize itself around what your inner world now believes. The wealthy people who built something real, they figured this out. Maybe not in these exact words, but somewhere along the way, they stopped fighting money and started becoming someone money could trust. That's available to you, not someday, starting today. The science of mind is not a religion, it's not a theory, it's a technology of consciousness, and it works for anyone willing to use it.